What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So right now there's a major shift that is going on and consumers are changing the way that they shop, but many are not realizing that they're even making this adjustment. So in today's video, I want to go over what's happening, why this is so scary, and what many experts say we need to do about this. So let's get started. All I ask, just take 2 seconds, go ahead, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. And the reason why I always say to go ahead and hit that like button is because when I say certain words, the YouTube algorithm actually blocks the videos from going out. And so by hitting that like button, it actually pushes the video a little bit further, all right? So I'm not gonna say the words, but yes, I do say a lot of words, dealing with the past couple of years, the issues we've had, right? And they do cause problems with YouTube. So that's the reason why I just wanted to bring that up. But let's talk about what this huge shift is. Because since early 2020, consumers have been tasked with changing the way they shop. We had to get rid of certain brands and items as a result of shortages. Many have had to ration food due to price increases that gave them less purchasing power. But what's interesting is what has happened over the past 6 to 12 months. Recently, due to worker shortages and supply constraints, American consumers have moved away from the fresh products, fresh produce and fruits, vegetables, meats, and they're buying more frozen goods, frozen vegetables, frozen fruit, frozen chicken, right? We see this all the time. Now, according to the CEO of Saffron Road, they make frozen meals, but they're a little bit healthier. They're kind of better for you. Well, he says the frozen food category outgrew the fresh category by 230% this year. And this is a growth rate in which we've never seen before. And according to recent studies, get this, consumers have not had great experiences with fresh products lately. And I can vouch for this because I haven't either. But in this recent study, it says 71% of people say their produce goes bad before they can eat it, so they stop buying it. And let me know if you're experiencing some of these same things as well. 64% of people surveyed said that fruits are oftentimes too ripe even when in the stores, so they've turned to frozen alternatives. And roughly 87% of people have said they've turned to frozen products because they have a much longer shelf life. And think about this for a second. And let me just ask you, are you turning to frozen foods? Fruits, vegetables, meats, because it's a better option, it's cheaper, has a longer shelf life, it's almost always in the store. Are those reasons why you've turned to frozen food, or have you opted to go fresh no matter what? But think about this for a second. If the majority of consumers are turning to frozen goods as opposed to buying fresh, yet manufacturers have yet to pivot, which means there's a bunch of wasted food in a time when we are still experiencing a global food shortage. That's scary. And that's what is, according to many experts, is the scariest part about this whole thing. Is that, okay, yes, we are seeing that people are moving towards frozen foods, but the problem is our manufacturers, our farmers anticipating this. And some say no. But that's just part of the problem. That's part of the scary problem. The other problem is inflation. Right now, our consumer price index rose to 8.3% in April. This is actually down from the 8.5% just a month before, but it's still very high. Food at home rose by 10.8%, which is the highest we have seen since 1980. Executives believe that food inflation is not going to stop. It's going to continue and get much, much worse. Which is why many economists predict that frozen food will be the go-to item moving forward. Now, it not only will save you money in food waste, which I think we all experience in some level, but its shelf life will help with planning and preparation, which experts say is the key to proper nutrition and budgeting. Now, before you go, Have you made the shift from fresh foods to frozen? I ask this because for me personally, I have. I have made the switch, but it's not out of necessity. Okay? It's out of an abundance of caution, as I have a freezer full of frozen goods. Fruits, vegetables, some, meats. But the things that I buy the most, fruits and vegetables, obviously number one. I got 3 kids, so frozen pizzas are another one. And not only is it, for me, frozen pizzas are sometimes better than some of the pizzas that I can get, but it's cheaper. So I'll throw in a pizza. Another thing is chicken. We're always buying frozen chicken. And the last one is something that I buy all the time, is seafood. Seafood is something that I'm always buying frozen because we don't eat it fast enough. And that's a huge issue. But this is what consumers are somewhat worried about, is are we going to see a major shift towards frozen products? If we do, and this is a huge shift, because health experts tell us, don't go to the middle of the store, walk the perimeter. Walk the perimeter, get fresh products. Well, that's great if we live in a place where we have ample goods. But as of right now, we don't. There's a major grain shortage because of what's going on in another country. But right here in the United States, we are seeing the effects of all this. So right now, consumers are changing the way they shop. And this is what is troubling, is the consumers changing, but many manufacturers are lagging behind. And so what we could potentially see is, if many people go towards frozen products, that's great, but is there going to be enough supply? Again, we could see major shortages with frozen goods as well, so be on the lookout for that. But I just wanted to fill you in on what is going on as of right now. If you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.